Hey, all of you real estate agents and future real estate agents. My name is Melanie Ginsberg. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'm coming at you live in Austin, Texas. I see you guys are all over California, Maryland, Virginia, Jersey, Philly, Rhode Island, Colorado. Awesome, Massachusetts. We got everyone. That is amazing. We're going to wait just a couple minutes to let the people join us. We want to make sure that everyone's here. This is a jam-packed lesson today. We're going to talk about different social media platforms for agents. So if you're here, give me a quick hello.
Different platforms.
And let me know if you can hear me. Sometimes I have trouble with my audio. It would be super, super helpful for me if you could say, I can hear you in the chat, because I can see everything you're saying. This is live. And then I know that I'm not just talking to no one. Oh, and now I finally figured out. So you're not seeing the corner of my screen. Look at that. Hi, I can hear you. All right. Hey, Joseph, Diana, everyone. Greetings from California, Florida. Perfect. All right, thanks everyone. So I'm gonna get started in just a couple minutes. Throughout this whole thing, if you have any questions, like I said, this is live. I can see all of your comments. Thanks, Kathy. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will answer them. I'm just going to go over it's going to be a big overview, super general. So if you have any questions about what I'm saying, if you want more specific questions about each platform, please let me know. I'm just going over the main 6 or 7. Of course, there are tons and tons of social media platforms out there, but I think, we're just covering the main ones today. So hopefully this will help you. Just some background about me. I ran my own marketing agency before I got my real estate license. I, like you, am a real estate agent here in Austin, Texas. But I have a very large marketing background. I love marketing. And marketing is a really big and really important piece of your real estate business, because you can be the very, very, very best real estate agent, but if you don't know how to get clients that you can work with, then it doesn't, you won't be able to ever use those skills that you have. And I know some of you are brand new agents or still studying, so I know how hard that you study to get your real estate license. And I want to make sure that you can, work with tons and tons of clients, help them get into their dream homes, and do all of the things. Oh, Cindy, congrats on passing your exam. Yeah, so I want to make sure that you can do all the things that you got your real estate license to do. Gabriel, great. So yes, very, very important. That's a really good point. That will be our first slide today, actually. I'm going to say, a big warning, beware of the black hole suck of social media. Thank you for pointing that out. So Gabriel said, it's a big black hole of time. How crucial is it to get a Facebook? Gabriel, I'm glad you asked. You are right. You're in the right place, because today, so basically, Brielle, congratulations on passing. The thing about social media is, one, yes, beware of the black hole suck of social media, because these platforms were designed to keep you there, which can work for you and against you. How does it work for you? Great question. Glad you asked. If someone is on your page, it is designed to keep them there. So if you have a lot of amazing content, let's say on your Instagram page, they see the photo that you posted today, but if they like it and the way that Instagram is designed, they could look at all of your past content. I mean, today I was looking, like, backstalking someone for a year just because their content was really good. It was really engaging. I was learning a lot from it. So that can be an advantage that you can use to further your business and get more clients and get more followers, etc., which will then hopefully lead to clients. Or you can get sucked into the black hole. So this will take discipline. I still sometimes fall for it. It's really, really challenging because, like I said, these apps are really designed to keep you in it. So whatever system works for you, sometimes I will, like, there are apps you can get on your phone that will kick you off of an app, or a little alert will come up and say, hey, you've been on Facebook for 30 minutes now. Are you sure you want to stay on Facebook? Or you can just create your own, if you have the willpower, you can just say, okay, I'm on this platform to post and maybe engage and respond to comments and messages, but I'm not going to look at anyone else's stuff. I'm just here to, post my stuff. That's something that you'll have to work out with yourself, because definitely social media can take a lot of time, and you should figure out your own time management, because marketing is a big piece of your business, but I don't want you guys spending 60 hours a week on marketing and then you don't have time to work with clients once you get them, So you want to make sure that you still have time to do actual real estate transactions, because that's what you want to do. You didn't get your real estate license to become social media influencers, you got your real estate license so that you could do real estate. So just something to be aware of. And also something really important is that, like anything, the more you do something and the more you get used to something, the better you will get. So don't be turned off or scared or frustrated if, today it takes you an hour to post something on Instagram or to message someone on Instagram or figure out hashtags or whatever. Because it's, if you're new to it, of course it's going to be hard. Everyone who's good at something once was bad at something. So that's just, being a beginner. And with time, the more you do it, it will get easier. And then you can, spend 5 minutes posting on Instagram, which then gives you 55 minutes to either branch off to one social media platform, or work with your clients, or spend time with your loved ones, or anything that you want to do with your time. So I'll actually say that before we jump in, my personal preference, just so you don't get overwhelmed, is to master one platform before you move on to the next one. Because like the slide says, the black hole suck of social media, it can be really time consuming. And this whole thing is about how the platforms are different. So they all kind of have their own feel, their own vibe, and I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed and flustered, and if you don't realize like the different kind of lingo, etc., for each of them, and then first of all, if you spread yourself too thin, you'll burn out and you won't do anything good. But also, I think it's just better to like really master one of them and get it down really good, and get your audience engaging with it and your followers moving, and then you can move on to the second one. And then you can do both of those at a time. And like I said, at first, if it takes you an hour and then eventually it will take you 5 minutes, okay, great. Now you have more time to do another one that at first will take you an hour. So if that's making sense, give me a thumbs up in these comments, because sometimes I ramble and I don't know if I'm being coherent. So glad that you're getting some good advice and amazing tips, and that you're finding this helpful. That's why I'm doing this. I love helping other real estate agents, and I love talking about marketing. And yes, real estate is all about consistency, and marketing, honestly, is consistency. So that's the same thing. If it's too overwhelming to say, okay, I'm going to do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and then you can't be consistent with it, it's better to just be consistent with one thing. And again, like, get it on autopilot, or learn it so well that you can just do it in 5 minutes and it doesn't take too much time. And like I'll go over later in the presentation, every social media has a different time. How do I call this? To post a tweet, which is 160 characters, will take 1 minute, but to make a YouTube video, which is sometimes an hour, of course that's going to take you way more time, Awesome, Cindy, you're ready. Using Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so let me know actually what you guys are using already. So if you're already using them, let me know in the chat. And if you are about to, like if you're most interested in one and you're getting ready to start your Instagram page, or you're getting ready to start a YouTube course, let me know in the chat, because then I'll spend more time talking about those. Because like I said, this is this is for you. So I want to tailor this directly to what you want. I could talk about Pinterest for an hour, but if you guys don't care about Pinterest, then I won't talk about Pinterest for an hour. So Facebook and Instagram, awesome. Okay, cool. Let's dive in. Lisa, examples of good pages. Yes, not in this presentation because I don't have them ready, but that's such a good hack. I'm actually really, really glad you brought that up because the best way to learn is to follow accounts that are doing really well. So if you, Instagram most, Facebook, Insta, Facebook, would love to start with YouTube. Great, I love YouTube. Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, awesome. So the best way to learn is to follow people who are doing what you think is really good. So they don't need to have 100,000 followers on Instagram, but like I said, that person earlier, that girl's page, I honestly don't remember her name, but I was on her page for a long time. I never looked to see how many followers she had. She could have had 100 followers, but because of the quality of the content that she was posting, I was really drawn in. So follow people whose content you like, and then you can get inspired by the ideas that they're sharing. Like my personal marketing strategy on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, they're all really different. And I have my muses, you could call them, on each of those platforms that I look at. And if I'm stumped one day or I'm feeling uninspired, I'll just pull up their stuff and be like, either, okay, like for example, YouTube, what YouTube video did they do that performed really well? Or what YouTube video did they do that I also know a lot on that topic, so I could easily make this YouTube video? And then there's my inspiration. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That is one of my favorite things about marketing, is that there are a ton of really smart people, and people like me who have spent years of their life studying this stuff, and I've invested, thousands of dollars in courses and trainings and coaches and stuff about marketing. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can see what people are doing, and as you get more comfortable, you can kind of reverse engineer it and say, okay, why was this YouTube video performing so well, and what can I do that's similar but with my own vibe, So, okay, looks like people are interested in Instagram and Facebook mostly, with a little bit of YouTube. So that's awesome. Yeah, and Gabriel, the grid post with Canva. First of all, Canva is amazing. I thought about including it on this, but it's not really a social media platform, but Canva is so good for everything. Like, I make a lot of Instagram stuff on Canva, and I make my YouTube thumbnails on Canva, and you can do your grid on Canva to make sure that it looks good, but we'll get into that more when we get to the specific platforms. So let's dive in. Facebook is number one. Okay, so there are many pros and cons. The pros is that Facebook is really about like genuine relationships. Oh no, you can't read this. Relationships. So Facebook, they're called Facebook friends. Everything else is called followers or subscribers or, probably followers and subscribers. Think about that. Your Facebook is your friends. So it feels more genuine, and also it's just more like authentic connections. Whereas I feel like on some of the other ones, you can pitch harder because, like, for example, LinkedIn, people are on LinkedIn explicitly for business. So they know. They know if you slide into their DM or whatever and say like, hey, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? Then they won't feel so bothered by that. Whereas if you did that on Facebook, they would be bothered. But that can be a con because it's a longer game, which means you have to, just like making friends in real life, you have to like put effort in. And I'll put my Facebook is Melanie Ginsberg. That's my name. You guys can friend me on there. And you can see what I do. I'll put my handles or whatever at the top. Yeah, so you can see. Great question, Ama. Okay, so the con is it's a longer game, but I don't really know if this is a con because my personal opinion is that marketing, yes, there are like tricks and tips that you can do to market better, but at the end of the day, it's all about relationships, and I don't think you should start a relationship with only the intention of selling them real estate, So yes, it does take longer to build all of those friendships on Facebook, but it's not I don't know. I don't want you guys to be scammy real estate agents, I want you guys to actually, build these genuine relationships and these authentic connections. So a super big pro on Facebook is groups, because groups are an amazing, amazing way to find people. So, like I said, I'm in Austin, Texas. So I'm in a lot of new to Austin groups, young adults in Austin. I was thinking, okay, who is going to buy or sell real estate in Austin? One, but also like, where are there people that I haven't connected with? Especially this past year with COVID. When COVID ends and there are many in-person events again, I will be in the physical presence of people, because I think as great as social media is, nothing replaces true, genuine human connection. So I think that's kind of the way that I see groups. It's like, okay, where would I be going in real life if this was normal times and we could socialize properly? And how can I find that on Facebook? So I'm in like a girls new to Austin. I'm in like female friends in Austin or something like that. I'm probably in 20 groups, honestly, just in Austin that are location specific. But I'm also in an improv group because I love improv, and before COVID I was doing improv classes. So you can find what's true for you. And yes, Brielle, find your niche. So like, perfect. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm in a lot of investor groups in Austin because I love working with investor clients. And, that one is a little more saturated because there's a lot of competition, a lot of other real estate agents in it. So like I was saying, just like be true to who you are. If you love softball, find groups that are softball people in Austin, Cindy, yes. Lots of groups say no advertising. So I'm glad you brought that up. I don't mean pitch people in these groups. I'm saying that these groups are a really great way to make new connections that you wouldn't otherwise make, which is kind of how I feel about most social media. It's not necessarily just to pitch people. It's about networking. It's about broadening your sphere of influence, if you want to use that phrase, and making new connections of people who would want to buy or sell real estate with you, but you don't necessarily need to be like, hey everyone, I'm a real estate agent. And like Brielle said, advertise without advertising. Groups tend to be a little more lenient in the comments. I mean, if someone says, hey, I want to buy a house, but my credit is bad, do you know of any resources? You can definitely comment on that and say like, oh yeah, hey, I actually work with a person who can help you. Or like, hey, I actually have let's hop on a call and we can talk about it. Hi, Lily. So there are definitely ways around it. And let me just catch up on some of these. Okay, yes, you can make a third Instagram. You can make as many Instagram accounts as you want. And Bria, yes, Joe actually suggests making a separate account for real estate other than your personal page. I use my personal page because that's, I kind of feel like I'm on social media mostly for my business, and any of my real friends and family, I just talk to them on the phone. So yes, Brielle, not only be an agent, but be a resource for anything real estate related. That is huge, and I've talked about that in some of my other webinars on this channel, is that you just want to become the authority about real estate. So people, when they think about real estate, they say, okay, I know that Brielle will be able to answer this question just because you post things about real estate, you post things about, how to get a loan, all things that people... think about it. Think about, you all did anywhere from 30 to 200 hours of class just to get your real estate license. So you're 30 to 200 hours ahead of people in terms of education about real estate. So on all of these platforms, you should be teaching them. Okay, another con of Facebook, and this is only if you're using your personal page. If you're using a business page, it's not a con. And it seems silly to type this, but you can only have 5,000 friends. So like I said, I use my Facebook page basically as a business page. So I'm trying to connect with people all the time. Wow, this font is too big. I apologize. So I'm trying to connect with as many people as possible. And I hit my limit all the time because I'm in these groups and I'm starting conversations and creating connections and trying to network with these people and, become friends with them. So that is another con. And I don't know. It also depends on your niche. Like, as a pro or a con, and you should do some research about this in your own city and in your own networks, people say Facebook is only for old people or Facebook is only for young people and whatever. I personally think that you'll find everyone everywhere at some point, but that could be a con, is like not necessarily your target market. And yeah, I love Facebook. I spend most of my time on Facebook. Facebook is definitely in my top 3. So that's Facebook. Next, we're going to move on to Instagram. Instagram is slowly becoming my new favorite, because, well, I'll get into it now. So the pros of Instagram is that it's easier to, quote, go viral. And what I mean by that is really to be discovered by other people. So I guess that's a con of Facebook that I didn't list. But no one, unless someone shares your post on Facebook, which isn't really common, no one except for your Facebook friends is going to see what you're posting. Whereas on Instagram, there's something called the Explore page where they kind of highlight other people's posts that they think would be interested. So if your post gets on the Explore page, you could have a post that gets, 30,000 likes and views, and you can only have 300 followers. And nothing like that would ever happen on Facebook. Tom, I like that, being the perfect fit for your clients. Definitely. Yes, Cindy, another pro is hashtags. So hashtags are another amazing way that you can get discovered by other people, and you can kind of network with other people. Like if you search for the hashtag first-time home buyer, you can find people that just bought their first home. Maybe they have other friends who want to buy a home because now they're super excited about it and talking about real estate, So hashtags are amazing. Another pro is that there are many different kinds of content, but this can also be a con because, like I was saying at the beginning, I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. The most important thing is consistency, and Instagram has Instagram stories, Instagram reels, Instagram IGTV. There are Instagram live rooms now, and all of these, they come out with new things all the time, and you have to learn them. So it's like every single day there's something new for you to learn, and people are like, hey, I just want to sell real estate, okay? Stop coming out with all these new updates, Instagram. And another thing is that Instagram has these, it seems that Instagram has these more specific algorithm hacks, so to speak. So it would be like, of course no one really knows the truth, but I've seen a lot of people say that on Instagram you need to post every single day, otherwise the algorithm, quote, gets mad. I don't know if that's true. Or you need to post even multiple times a day, so lots of posting to keep algorithm happy. And who knows if that's true or if that's just a rumor to get people. Like I said, all of these platforms want you to spend more time on the platform. So if someone just starts a rumor that you need to post 3 times a day on Instagram, they're probably not going to go out of their way to, set the truth, whatever, because they want people on Instagram 3 times a day, But the other pros is that there's no limit. People have millions of followers on Instagram. So that really, if you're a big dreamer, if you're super ambitious, then Instagram is a great place to put all of your attention in now, even though, of course, it will start slow. You're not going to have 1 million followers overnight, but you can't really get that on Facebook, even with your business page. I'm pretty sure there's a limit. So Instagram also, I think, a pro or a con. So I don't know where to put it, but Instagram is very visual and houses are very visual. So that lends itself very well to each other. But the con could be like, if you're not a good photographer, it's very obvious if you're taking not super attractive photos of houses on Instagram. Whereas on Facebook, you can kind of get away with it because it's not just a photo platform. Like I myself, I'm not a very good photographer, and it's really obvious when I post pictures or videos of houses on my Instagram because, like, in comparison, I'm like, this doesn't look that good. All right, so that's Instagram. We are cruising through this. I don't get the reason to go on Instagram. Well, here are the pros. I mean, like all of these social media, the reason to go on them is to connect with people, to build authority. Like Brielle was saying, become the person about real estate, like the real estate resource. And social media is such a great way to just kind of make new connections. So like I've made genuine friends on social media that I've never met in real life, but like I see their stuff and they see my stuff, and we like mutually respect each other, So, and I've gotten clients on all of these, not all of these, on Facebook and Instagram, definitely. Oh yeah, so if you do want to talk about the grid a little bit, I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of all of the ways to kind of optimize each of these social media platforms, maybe in a different teaching, but the grid is important. It's not crucial. Like I have my grid, if you want to see my Instagram, it's at Melanie Ginsberg Realtor. My grid, so I have a color scheme. My brand colors are red, black, and yellow, and white, and gold, kind of. So every picture and everything that I do on Canva has those colors in it, but I do not plan out my grid. For me, I take my own advice. When I first was like, oh my God, I have to redo my grid, I felt overwhelmed by it, and I thought if I needed to plan every single picture out as well as all of my content ideas and everything, it would be too much for me. So I said, okay, I'd rather take one baby step and do it in the right direction than just try to be a perfectionist and do nothing instead. So I haven't done my grid in Canva, but I will. So stay tuned. And it's important. I don't think, to me, when I see someone's grid that's really organized, I'm like, okay, cool, they take their Instagram marketing seriously. But if their grid isn't organized, I don't write them off, because there is a lot of stuff to do with marketing, and people can be really, really great realtors or really great whatever their specialty is and not have a color-coded grid. So that's my 2 cents on it. Okay, LinkedIn. Okay, pros. Like I said, people are there for business. So if you're trying to just be like, hey, Tom, I'm a real estate agent in Austin, Texas. My name is Melanie. I just wanted to introduce myself. Ramona, a grid, great question. A grid is basically when you look at your Instagram account, not just one photo. How do I explain this? If you go to someone's profile and you can see all of their photos, that's called a grid. Would you come up with a brand name as an agent or just use your name, Realtor? I obviously use just my name, Realtor, but I've seen people say like, oh, sell with Mel or sold by Cindy or, buy with Rye or whatever. If you have a brand with your name, I think that's fine. It's catchy. I wanted to have Realtor in my name, so that's why I did it. What is the simplest way to transfer photos from computer to Instagram? There might be a simpler way, but my honest answer is I will email or text it to myself. So I'm on an Apple right now, and I have an Apple phone, so I can send text messages from my computer, and I just text it to myself and then save the photo. There are some third-party applications that you can schedule things. Later.com, I think, is one of them. You can schedule from your computer, which means you can post the photo from your computer, but I'll just text it or email it to myself. Okay, so LinkedIn, the pros, yeah, people are there for business. It's not as like you can brag. LinkedIn is basically a resume, so you can say, yeah, I ran my own marketing agency for 5 years, and now I can use those marketing skills to sell your house faster and at a higher price. Whereas you can say that on the other ones, but you kind of have to be more coy about it. The cons is kind of the same. Everyone is there for business. So first of all, like me personally, I haven't been on my LinkedIn in years. Actually, I just updated it to say I'm a real estate agent, but other than that, I'm not on it because it's not fun for me. So, since everyone is only there for business, they're just interested in pitching you too, And like I said at the beginning, like, I will never tell you to just go out and pitch, because I really believe in being authentic and genuine. And yes, I hope these people will end up using you as a real estate agent, but I hope that they choose you because they can tell that you're really well informed and you're just using the social media as a tool to connect with them. You're not using it as a tool to manipulate them or anything like that. So for me, LinkedIn just doesn't feel super good because it's really, really pitchy. Man, why is this changing? So, cons, everyone is there for business. Boring, I would say, is another con. And pros, I think there's no limit on how many connections you have. I don't actually know. I don't spend a lot of time. Wow, I don't even realize that when this... Guys, I appreciate your patience for all of the technical difficulties, because I just realized now that this screen looks like that. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of LinkedIn, but I know there are a lot of realtors that do find a lot of success there. LinkedIn is a good place, similar to You Can Brag. Like, it's really good for authority. So, you know, you can say, oh, I won Keller Williams Agent of the Year this year, or like, I'm a top producing agent this year, or something like that, and people are like, wow, that's so great. For me, again, like I was saying with the Facebook groups, I'm trying to just connect with people in Austin, and LinkedIn is kind of organized like it's all business. It's like walking into a business conference, and since you're pretty much targeting local people, just like general people, you don't need to be at a business conference, you know, you could just be anywhere where there's people in your city, you know. Okay, TikTok. This is a fun one and a new one. I have mixed feelings about this. I'll start with the cons. It took me so long to figure it out. And like I said, I have a lot of background in social media, and still, like, I mean, it's intuitive, but there's this lingo and all this special stuff. And definitely a big con is that you're supposed to post, they say, in order to like go viral or whatever, post 3 times a day. I do not have time for that. These videos are, even though they're a minute long, some of them are super creative, and they must have taken at least an hour to make and film and cut and edit, and I do not have time for that. So that is the con. Oh, I should put my TikTok at the top. I actually don't know what it is, but I'll pull it up. So that is one con. But the pros, similar to Instagram, it's supposedly easy to go viral. There are people that say, you know, they had 200 or they had 2 followers on TikTok and they posted one video and they, you know, got picked up by the algorithm, whatever that means, and they got 20,000 views on their video. So it's easy to go viral. If you like it, I will say it's kind of fun. Like, a lot of the videos are silly, which I'm super, super silly, and they're like dancing videos, which I love to dance. All right, I got it. My thing on TikTok is Austin Real Estate Queen. So that's a pro. If it's fun, it's easy to go viral. I will say the big con, and this is why I pretty much stopped and moved all of my video creative energy over to Instagram to do it with Reels, is because, like, is your target audience there? I spent a couple weeks on TikTok, and it seemed to me that it was mostly younger people, and nothing against younger people, but they're probably not ready to buy a house. So for me, finally, I was like, I don't think it was worth it for my energy. I'll actually type my Instagram here. It's this. Yeah, so I think it's just mostly younger people. Not to say that there's anything wrong with them. Younger people have parents, usually, who live in houses. But for me, the big thing was the combination of the 3 times a day and the target audience. If it was like 3 times a week, and maybe it would be mostly kids, I would think about it. But since it's 3 times a day, I was just like, no way. That the time investment, given, you know, the time investment for what I would get from it was not worth it. Okay, Twitter. You might, maybe there are lots of real estate agents that love Twitter. I personally don't love Twitter. I don't even, again, know what my handle is. I haven't been on Twitter since college, many years ago. But the pros are, it's easy. For real, it's easy. Tweets are 160 characters. They're just little bite-sized thoughts, which is also a con, because a con is like, how can I get my message across in such a small bite? I guess you could say that about TikToks too, because they're only 60 seconds. If you're trying to educate someone about how easy it is to get a first-time home buyer loan and you have 160 characters, you can do it. You got to get more creative. Another con is, I think, like, people might disagree. Honestly, if you disagree, let me know in the comments, because this is, of course, obviously this whole thing is just my opinion. I think it's a little bit outdated. I think that, like, big brands use Twitter, but yeah, like Elon Musk, exactly. Big brands like Coca-Cola or Skittles has a pretty, like, famous Twitter account, but you're not going to find your, like, local real estate agent. And I also don't think that your potential clients are going to be looking for a real estate agent on Twitter. Whereas, actually, I forgot to mention that, like, with Instagram, probably the pro would be, people can search you by real estate, which is actually why I do have realtor in my name. Because if someone goes to Instagram and they just search, like, I'm looking for a realtor, I want my name to come up. And I also have realtor in my bio, like Austin real estate agent. So, like, with Twitter, I don't think people are going to go to Twitter and say, like, Austin real estate agent. And if they do, mine definitely wouldn't come up. So pros, I'm going to say question mark there. That is my very unbiased opinion. YouTube, I love YouTube. We will start with the cons, though. YouTube is definitely a longer play, and there is so much to learn. Like, I did not have a video background. I was shy on camera. I don't know how to edit videos at all. I mean, you can see on this video, like, I can't even figure out how to crop my screen so you don't see the outside of the parameter of my PowerPoint. So, like, I'm not good with editing. See, I don't know. And there's a lot to learn with YouTube. But the pros are that, oh my God, guys, I can't even tell you the pros. There's so many. So video content is so powerful. First of all, think about who you typically see on TV. They're famous people, they're celebrities, they're news anchors, so they're all people with authority. So even though you and I know that pretty much anyone can just make a YouTube channel, somewhere in your brain, you're watching, when you watch someone on YouTube, you think that they're the authority just because you're watching them as, like, basically on TV. The other thing is it's so personal. You guys can't even see my face right now, but you're hearing my voice. We're having a real conversation. I bet you guys really feel like I'm just talking to you, even though I'm talking to all of you guys. So it's so personal. It makes people really feel like they know you. And a big piece of who they're going to hire is they want to trust you and feel like, there is that relationship. YouTube, unlike most of the other, almost actually every single other form of social media, people can create that friendship without you. And what I mean by that is, like, yeah, maybe if you binge someone's Instagram content and you scroll through, all of their old posts and stuff, maybe you'll feel like you know them and stuff. But with YouTube, if you binge all of their old videos, you will feel like you have spent time with them, because you have, you, like, when they're talking in a video, you're feeling like you're talking to them, So that's definitely pro. The cons, it takes so long. I've had my YouTube channel for like 5 months and I have about 200 subscribers. My last video had 4 views on it. And I would be lying if I said that doesn't frustrate me. And I don't know, like, it feels very there's not a lot of immediate feedback, you know? So like I've been working on my Instagram account a lot and upgrading that content, and I'm getting more followers, more likes, more engagement because of that. On YouTube, yeah, a little bit, but it's longer. So if you are not ready for that soul-crushing experience of putting so many hours into posting and then not getting the love that you want, I would say wait to do YouTube. And definitely there is so much to learn because you have to figure out how to title it, the thumbnail, the video, what equipment to use. You know, if you don't have a nice camera, do you need to get a nice camera? Can you do it on your iPhone? What angle, what lighting can you do it? How to edit it? There is just so much. And not to mention, many people, myself included, were so uncomfortable being in front of the camera. So it's just a lot. And, you know, even a 15-minute video, like my fiance, he is obsessed with YouTube. And for a 15-minute video, he spends like 3 hours editing it. And I think that's too much. I don't personally have the patience for that. But if you have the patience, that's great. And if you love video, you know, like I know a lot of you had lives and careers and interests before you got your real estate license, and you'll have those interests still after, go for it. There, you know, I'm a firm believer in, play to your strengths. So if you're a good photographer, go with Instagram. If you love videos, and you know, I would say actually do Instagram Reels, but go for TikTok. If you love videos, longer form, definitely do YouTube because it's great. And the other thing is that it's evergreen. And this might be a new word for some of you, but in marketing, it's a very, very important word. Evergreen means kind of it's forever. So if I post something on Instagram, it basically has a 24 to 72 hour life. You know, no one's going to look back to that post that I posted in January and be like, oh my God, wow, Melanie had such a good idea about how to list her home, you know? But if I made a YouTube video, I mean, how many of you studied Prep Agent to pass your test, right? I binged all of those videos. I was watching videos that Joe posted years ago, but the content was evergreen. And I love that because in terms of bang for your buck, for energy, you know, Joe spent an hour making a video in 2018 and thousands of people are still watching it today. So that's great. No one's going to look at my 2018 Instagram content, and I hope that they don't because I wasn't taking it seriously then, you know. And definitely no one's going to look at your Facebook from 2018. TikTok didn't even exist in 2018, and probably no one is spending time on Instagram backstalking people. But binging on YouTube is a real thing. So also, like if your content is really good, let's say you're going after first-time home buyers and you have 7 videos educating first-time home buyers, it's very plausible that someone who is looking to buy their first home will find your first video, and then they'll be like, oh, this person, I like them, and they have 6 other videos, and then they watch all 7 of them. So that is a huge benefit. And then, just because I felt like I needed to be inclusive, I'm going to throw Pinterest on here. I don't know that much about Pinterest. I don't have a Pinterest account, but I know someone who uses Pinterest solely for his business. He's a real estate agent, and he says that, I mean, pros, apparently, you can reach a lot of people. I feel like I maybe shouldn't have put this in here because I don't know how you can reach a lot of people. I don't know that much about Pinterest. So why don't I use Pinterest? That's probably the con. Again, this could be wrong, but I feel like my target audience isn't there. But that's just an assumption, and we shouldn't make assumptions. So do your research. I mean, and also I really suggest kind of focusing on one and figuring it out to the fullest before you try to tackle 6 different platforms and you get overwhelmed. But try all of them out. Like download TikTok and just play around with it for 1 hour and set an alarm so you don't get sucked into the black hole. Play around with it for an hour and see what you think. And then you can be like, this isn't for me. You know, play with Pinterest for 15, 20 minutes or an hour, see what you think, and then you can say, it's not for me. So just some final last words. It is better to do something imperfectly than wait to be perfect and do nothing. This is true for every single thing I've ever done in my life, and this will be true for your real estate career as well. The best way to learn is to get started. So just start posting on TikTok, start posting on Instagram, start posting on Facebook. You'll see what gets attention and what doesn't. You'll see what hashtags get attention and what doesn't. You'll like my very first YouTube video, I was so awkward, and now I feel a little bit more comfortable, and that's true for every form of social media. I will leave you with this. I know a lot of you did follow me. The R always adds. I'm on Instagram most of the time. It's, I think, the most user-friendly for, I don't know. I just like being on Instagram. So if you have any questions, like I said at the beginning, I absolutely love talking about marketing. This is, I'm not just here for this 45-minute lesson. I am a real estate agent in real life, and I love marketing. So if you have any questions next week or in 2 weeks, just be like, hey, I saw you on the Agent School platform, and I want to know about my business page, or I want to know about how to, whatever it is. And yep, I will happily answer it. Just a quick shout out to Joe and Agent School. If you haven't yet already, subscribe to this channel. This is new, and we're trying to build it up as big as Prep Agent. I personally use Prep Agent to pass my exam. Yeah, Lily. There are testing centers in Texas. I took my Texas test in real life. Or maybe even a library. Yeah, Cindy, exactly. Definitely. Oh, another thing, I started posting about real estate on my Instagram and Facebook before I got my license. So people, you don't need a license to educate people about real estate. So I was talking about what I was learning. And then when I did pass, people were ready to work with me, and I was ready to work with them. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a fantastic evening or day or afternoon, depending on if you're watching this replay. This replay will be up, so you can rewatch this whenever you want, and I will be back here sometime next week. So have an amazing day, and